Hi, Kat Chancellor here with Stamp Art Connection and StampArtConnection.com. I want to walk you through my favorite products. These are products that are not offered by Stampin' Up. They are products that I am affiliated with through Amazon, and I would like to show you these products because they have brought me a lot of joy, and there are great tools that have taken my projects to the next level. And I want you to be able to take advantage of some of these because I use these products often. They've provided shortcuts, they cut some steps, and they also just make crafting that much more easier and pleasurable. And that's what it's all about, right? We want to enjoy our crafting hobby. They're not only focused on the avid stamper, but they're also focused on the beginner stamper. So if you're starting to kind of put your craft room together, take a look at these products and see if you can add them into your craft room, as I have done over the last couple of years. What's also important to know is that next week is Prime Day, July 12th. I want to show you these products so that you know that they're out there. So if you are an Amazon shopper and you want to take advantage of Prime Day discounts and savings, I want you to look my products up and add them to your cart so you can take advantage of those savings. Okay, so let's get started. Here is the array of products that I have that I'm going to walk through. But what I want to do is I want to show you my screen, and let me go ahead and come over here so I can. Here is my blog that you can go to at StampArtConnection.com. And on this blog, you will find that underneath my header is my menu of all the different choices you have for my products and my projects. Right here is my favorite products. Here's the whole list of products that I'm going to go through and demonstrate some of these for you now, that you can come to this link and purchase the products right here. Everything is in one area. So let's go ahead and let me show you exactly what is on my favorite products. I want to begin with this product right here, and this is, and I'm going to go ahead and zoom in. This is called a jewel picker, and what I love about this is that it has two ends, and each end you can use to pick up sequins or jewels when you're doing your crafting. Let me give you an example. Here's a container that has sequins in it, and what I did is I just put some sequins in the top of this case, and when I'm using the sequins to embellish a project, I just can pick them up with my jewel picker, and look how easy that is. It's absolutely no fuss, and it makes crafting very easy. There's two different sizes. You have a small size and you have a large size. And let me show you a project that I used. I embellished this project right here using the jewel picker and my fine tip glue pen. I just put the fine tip glue on my project, and then I selected my sequins and I just added them. So that is a great tool. The next tool I want to demonstrate for you is a sticky grid. Now, the sticky grid are sheets of adhesive sheets that you adhere, and you should use a new cutting plate and use one of your new cutting plates from for your die cut machine. And what it does is that it gives you a nice sticky platform so that you can go ahead and stick your dies, and you can go and cut all your dies at one time, and they will stay in place on this sticky grid. And it just makes, when you're doing production stamping, or especially when you're using some of those die pieces from Stampin' Up that create flowers, this is really a great tool. When the holidays come around and you're creating a bunch of die cuts, use the sticky grid, and you can go ahead and just cut quite a number at once without any kind of slippage. So this is a great tool, and it is available on my online store, my favorite products, my affiliation with Amazon. The next product that I want to show you is this glue applicators. Now these glue applicators, I have added some of my Tombow ink or glue. Now, even though this is a nice small applicator, and our fine tip glue is even a better, finer applicator, when you don't want to use the fine tip glue and you want to use your Tombow glue, this is a very nice fine applicator for applying glue. And it just kind of gives you another option for adhering any of your different types of projects that you may be using. Now, I also want to, since we're talking about glues, I want to show you this glue. This glue is called Liquid Fusion. It's a very heavy-duty glue. And what I like about this glue is that I used it on this project here to adhere a base card to this layered card. And what it does is it offers a little bit more thickness or heaviness to the cardstock, so it's just not as soft. Now, some demonstrators and some hobbyists that I know like to add several layers, so they kind of just have a little bit more stiffness to their cardstock. But by using this glue, Liquid Fusion, it kind of gives you that extra stiffness that you need. This is especially useful if you are putting together projects like boxes that you kind of want to have a little bit more stiffness on sides or seams. So this is a very useful glue, and this is available on my products link on my online store. The next glue tool I have is this little Work Pro. This is a cordless hot glue gun. You just turn it on. Here's the lights. You can plug it in. It doesn't need any batteries or anything. You don't have to worry about a wire that's dangling. It will go ahead and heat up. It comes with a couple of the glue sticks, and you can buy more online and on Amazon. And it just really provides some really quick crafting. It's not really very heavy duty, but it's just enough for paper crafting. So I would recommend the Work Pro cordless glue gun. Now this is in pink because this is supporting breast cancer awareness. The next thing I'm going to show you is this magnetic mat. Now, I use this all the time. It's a little beat up. I've had this over 5 or 6 years. It's a magnetic mat. I keep this on my media mat because this is where I stick my dies when I'm working a project so that I don't lose them or misplace them. So this is also on my favorite products, and you can purchase the magnetic project mat. Now, the next thing I want to show you are some pens, different types of pens. And let me just kind of move in here so I can show you the different pens that are featured on my favorite products. Now, the first ones are these gel pens. I've used these gel pens on several products, and I'll show you one now where I have taken this, like this little rabbit. I took the black gel to kind of accentuate the eyes on the little rabbit, and then I used the white gel to go ahead and accentuate the little pupil there. So that really makes your projects pop, especially during Christmas and the holidays when you're kind of doing those characters that you kind of want to make make their little faces pop. Now, another tool for the gel pen is that this white gel pen can actually get rid of any kind of mistakes that you may have made with any of your stamping. And I've demonstrated that on several of my videos. So that's another great tool for this gel pen. Now, when you buy them, they come in different sizes. So you can buy very fine or regular or thick gel pens thicknesses, and those are just a really very handy tool to have in your craft room. So I recommend the gel pen. The next pen that I use, I really like this. This is from Tombow, and the number here is 990. But what this does is that when you outline a figure with this color, and that's what this pen is meant for. It's a graphic artist's marker, is that it just makes the figure kind of pop out a little bit better than it just kind of lying flat. This is a graphic arts technique. I used it when I was in art school and studying architecture. This is how we kind of made some of our drawings in our images kind of stand out from the background to kind of pop out to the foreground. So that is a very useful tool, kind of takes all your projects on to the next level. And that's the Tombow ABT pen, and it's on my favorite products. Now the next pen is a Versamarker pen. Now this pen, when you it's filled up with just your Versamark ink for doing any embossing. And what I like about it is that it has a thick kind of a painter side, and then it also has a thin pen side. So when you are trying to do any kind of freestyle, or you want to correct some embossing that you may have done, or you want to do your own freestyle embossing, the Versamarker pen is great for that. Now, I will tell you that I have taken the nib out of this pen, and I have used, and it comes out, and I have filled this up with Versamark ink from my Stampin' Up! Online store to kind of make this last. So it's really not a one-shot wonder. You can use this and refill it, and it will last you a long time. And I've had this for over four years or so. So I really recommend the Versamarker pen. That's all with the pens. But what I want to show you now, because I have my little bunny rabbit here, is I want to show you these metallic watercolor paints. They are just beautiful, and when you use them on black cardstock, or if you use them on any of the watercolors for like any flowers or any backgrounds, they really add a beautiful shimmer to your projects. These are also featured on several of my projects, and I have them featured. There'll be a picture on my online store for how I painted one of my little Easter bunnies using the champagne and the gold, and just really kind of made a nice shimmery project for Easter. So I recommend the metallic watercolor paints, and it comes with that. It actually comes with an aqua painter. So that is on that. So set of 8 colors, metallic watercolor paints. They're on my online store on my favorite products. Now, the next thing I want to show you are some different types of brushes. Here's my paper pumpkin box that I use, and I have all my different brushes for any kind of blending or stenciling. Now, I use all the sponges. These are the old Breyers. These are retired. These are fantastic. These are on Stampin' Up, and they also wash out really well. So there's really no need to keep them for just one color. But what I wanted to show you is are these two products here, because they offer this particular tool, this distress brush. You can open it up so you get a much looser coverage when you're spreading, or I guess better coverage when you're spreading any kind of ink on a surface. Then you can slide this up and it will give you a much tighter spread, much tighter coverage when you're using any kind of ink, especially if you're doing some kind of inking on a stencil. Here's another kind of brush. What I like about this is that it comes with a nice handle. You just use the Velcro and it has a sponge. These are reusable and you can kind of sponge. Now, I'm using this on my media mat. Now, my media mat is another tool that I really like. And let me pull out, and there's my media mat. And what I like about it is that if I'm doing any kind of sponging, or if I'm using any one of my blending brushes, I can use the paper directly on this glass media mat. It protects my stamping surface, but it also, you can see Mittens is right there. It can also, it just kind of offers a really nice glide when you're trying to come in off the side in order to do any kind of blending. Now, here are some examples of the type of projects that I've made using the media mat, and how all this was just basic white cardstock, and I just blended using my blending brush. So I really recommend the media mat, and I like to put my magnetic mat right here so I can keep my dies close, and then I can use my media mat for any kind of blending. Now, there is another mat that I use, and this is called the Best Ever Craft Mat. Now, this is cut from a much larger piece, and when I put it on the media mat, it sticks. Okay. Now, if I was using the mini die cut machine, or I have one of these on my side table where I have my large die cut machine, when the machine is on here, it does not move. And you can see I can't move. It just basically adds a nice grip for when you're working your machine. Now, I also use this on my media mat, because when I put a piece of grid paper, I can put the grid paper down and the grid paper won't move while I'm trying to do any kind of crafting. The grid paper would normally just slide on the glass, but with my Best Ever Craft Mat, my grid paper is there, and it's nice and secure. So I would really recommend the media mat for protecting your surface and for doing any kind of ink blending, and the Best Ever Craft Mat for just its ability to grip and hold your projects down. Another example of using this mat is just simply, again, you could take a piece of cardstock and you can hold it here. And this is really useful if you've got a stencil that you're going to be moving around. You want your cardstock to stay still, but you're going to move your stencil around. And here's another product. These are Post-it notes that are Post-it notes with the sticky all the way across. So if you're doing any kind of masking, again, you can use this craft mat, and it's not going to move, and your Post-it notes can be moved around as you need it for any kind of stenciling or any kind of masking. So that's another really good tool for your craft room to kind of help you take your projects to the next level. So I really recommend these Post-it notes that are on my favorite products on my online store, and this Best Ever Craft Mat. It comes in different sizes. You can buy smaller sizes or a large size. I kind of cut this down, and I've also put my large cutting, my guillotine cutter on this to on my on another craft table that I have. I lay it out. I put my large guillotine cutter, and my craft mat's about this wide, so that my guillotine cutter will not slip when I'm cutting paper, and that's a good safety feature for when you're cutting on your craft room. You don't want to slip, you don't want to cut yourself, and it also makes sure that you don't make mistakes. So that is my favorite craft mat. Now the other products I have, these are kind of fun products. And these, you've seen these in, I have featured these in my, on my cards. These are my wobbles, and you can get mini wobbles, and I love them because I do a lot of cards for little kids, because I support the University of New Mexico's Child Life project, and I donate a lot of my projects during the holidays to the kids that are in the hospital during the holidays, and also to the staff and to the doctors. But here's the wobbles that you can buy, that you can make and add to your cards. And I have a couple of projects featured on my blog that you can see. But it's a great products to have in your craft room for when the need for something kind of fun for kids. Now these are my googly eyes. And what I love about this set that I would that I look for is that these have adhesive backings on them. And let me just go ahead. They're a little tough to get off, but they are adhesive. They do have adhesive backings. And I love the fact that you get so many, but look at the different sizes. You have so many choices. And I use these quite a bit for some of my smaller cards, but these are just great products to have when you want to have fun with some of your projects. So these are the googly eyes, and they're called Wiggly Googly Eyes, and you get over 800 pieces. And again, these are available on my online store. So here is my go-to Stamp Art Connection, stampartconnection.com, and you will find my favorite products. You will find the jewel picker, the sticky grid, the glue applicators, the cordless glue gun, the ultimate craft glue to give you just that more stiffness to your paper crafting for special 3D projects, the magnetic mat for keeping organized, a big roll of adhesive sheet if you really use a lot of adhesive back sheet. This is just a very economical way, even though Stampin' Up! Does offer multi-purpose adhesive sheets for smaller projects. Your gel ink pens, your blending brushes. It's always nice to have a lot of different types of brushes because you can get different types of effect. So it's just part of your toolbox when you're creating, and you can experiment. The googly eyes, the masking tool, which is the Post-it full sticky pads that are great for masking. Your wobbles. Here's the media mat, and I'm demonstrating how I'm using the media mat to do blending. Here's the Best Ever Craft Mat. Comes to do different sizes. I recommend the larger size. You can cut it and put it under your die cut machine, a large paper cutter to keep it from moving, or put it on your glass mat or work surface to keep craft paper from moving around. And metallic watercolors, and then the pens, both the Versamark pen for freestyle Versamark embossing, as well as a Tombow background pen for graphic artists to kind of give you that background color. Thank you so much for joining me. It was a pleasure for me to share with you some really super tools and products that I use now, and I'd really recommend to include in your craft room. They are available on my products and my affiliated sites. If you like my videos, I ask you to support me and check out my online store. This is Kat Chancellor with Stamp Art Connection, stampartconnection.com. Happy crafting.